everybody. My name is Tracy of Tracy Gross Design, tracygross.com. So I have been taking up metalsmithing, and this particular piece right here, it's a beauty and I love it. I've been working on this for about 12 or 15 hours, and in the final step, right before the final polish, I dropped the stone on my concrete floor. Oh, and as my friend Michelle said, heart drop. She felt my heart drop, thud right down onto the floor with it. This is a one-of-a-kind stone. It's a one-of-a-kind shape and size, so it's not replaceable. But then I had this idea. Excuse my dirty silver fingers. I had this idea that I could fill. Actually, one of my friends had the idea that I could practice the art of Kintsugi, or Kintsugi. That's how you say it, Kintsugi, on this piece. And it's funny that I just mentioned this in my yoga class the other day, about a week ago. We were talking about the art of Kintsugi. And I was like, well, how am I going to do that? I didn't know that Kintsugi didn't require molten gold. It's actually done with either gold foil, gold leaf, or gold powder and glue or lacquer of some kind. So I'm going to give this a try. Last night I tried it with mica powder because that's cheap, and I had some. And when I first put it on, I painted it on, mixed the mica powder with some polyurethane. And I kind of lacquered it on polyurethane. And that kind of came out good, but I didn't like my own line. I wanted to see the crack, the natural crack. So I burnished that off, which basically means I rubbed it off, with the end of a paintbrush, a plastic paintbrush, so I didn't scratch the stone. So this came out better than I thought, but the mica powder isn't as sparkly and bright as gold. And gold is really super expensive right now. So I tried it also on this one, and I could see the line a little bit better. I didn't burnish off the back just so you could see it. But the mica powder still, when you burnished it off, not exactly what I wanted. So then I went to my local hardware or local lampworking store about an hour away, and I got some gold leaf. It's very expensive. So I wanted to practice on a few stones before I tried it out. The best method that I came out with is the one that shows on this particular stone. And you can see it's a really fine line. And what I did was, I'll show you what I did because this is the method I'm going to use. Before I go into this, I'm going to talk about the tools you're going to need to do this. So first you're going to need some gold leaf. And these papers are really, really thin. You can barely touch them without them falling apart. So we are going to overcome that. The other thing you're going to need is some toothpicks, some Q-tips, maybe a paintbrush, particularly one with an end for burnishing. It doesn't have to be a tapered end like that, just something plastic. You might need a few of these craft knives, your burnishing tool, and some Flow Mix 5-minute epoxy clear. And I'll get started and show you how to do that. But first, before I go any further, I'm going to have to take this beauty out of the setting, which means that I have to take this out, open this up, and hopefully I do it without marring the metal too badly. So I'll be back once I get the stone out. Well, this time, the universe apparently wants me to learn how to do Kintsugi, the art of filling cracks with gold. And it's actually really beautiful anyway, because each and every one of us has flaws and imperfections. And even through our cracks, we should be able to have love and compassion for one another. Ooh, there it goes. I got it. And appreciate and love each other, even with our flaws. Oh, there it is. My poor, beautiful stone. The good news is, there's a couple of little dust there. The good news is that this is pretty much a clean break. So there aren't like 50 million pieces all around that I have to glue back together. So yeah, I'm going to pause the video and set up the things I need to do the kintsugi. And yay, I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back and I have all the things that I need. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 pieces of this gold foil. And you'll see right away how fine this stuff is. You can keep that down. I mean, it's like, make sure your hands are also clean, because any oils from our hands can, look at that. See, it just comes right apart. Any oils from our hands can maybe tarnish the gold. So, or anything sticky on your hands, it's just going to stick to you like glue. And it really kind of disintegrates into a powder, which I suppose you could mix that into the epoxy, which is what I did here on this one. But it turned a little black, and I'm wondering, or not black, but it darkened there in the middle. But I'm wondering if that's because I mixed the gold and the glue on this black paper and it picked up some black. So I'm just going to do it the way I did it on this one. And this is new to me. It's a new process to me. I'm just showing because everyone was interested and I'm super excited about it. So what I'm going to do is try to pick this up and fold it over as best as I can. And there, see, it just sticks like static right to that blade. Come off of there and to my pinky finger. I'm going to try to pat that down a little bit so I get as good a fold as I can. I want this to be thick. I want to see the line a little bit better than on that gray agate I showed you, that Mexican agate. I'm going to fold this over again. Don't try to do this with your fingers because I tried it on the first one and it just was a mess. Come on, little buddy. You're beautiful. We love you. There you go. Sometimes you just have to send it some love. I found that with sawing too. I was breaking a lot of blades with sawing. It sounds silly, but it's so true. I just was like, I'm not going to hate this. I love this, and I love this blade, and I love this saw, and I love this piece of metal. And I think I can get one more fold out of this if I'm lucky. I'm kind of making a crease in it. It's precious. This was $80. $80 for, I think there's 20 or 25 sheets of gold here. $80. The universe also wants me to be broke. Okay. I'm going to try to fold this again. I don't know if it's going to go. There. Now, yeah. Ooh! I was looking at the width of my stone to see if I could fold this in half. And I can. And that's going to give me even a thicker, I hope, line of gold. I hope you guys can see this. Okay. There. I'm not going to pat that down because it's just going to stick to the blade and could possibly mess up everything I just did. I'm going to set that over here for now and mix my epoxy. This was kind of a pain in the butt, but the label slides. And then you're supposed to be able to twist this thing into place. There we go. All right. I don't need much. Now, what I want to do is I don't want to, when I squeeze this together, I don't want the epoxy to squeeze out the top of the stone. So I'm going to try to just get the epoxy on the bottom part of this stone. And also I'm not, well, maybe I want to put gold there. I don't know. Maybe it'll all blend together. We'll do the best that we can. Because I want the bottom of the stones to come together, and that's really what's going to hold the bond. And I'm going to burnish the gold into the top part of the stone. All right, so, okay, here goes nothing. And remember to breathe when you do this, because breathing relaxes you and helps you think. A little bit more on there. I poured out way too much of this glue, but that's okay. I'm going to do the other half. All right. So there's that. Now here comes the nervous part, because I don't want to mess it up. And I don't want the glue to dry. And why did I just try to pick that up with my fingers? That's not what I wanted to do. So can you see this? Yes. I'm going to pick this up with this top part of the stone, hopefully, and not get it on the glue. It sticks to everything else, so I'm thinking it should stick to the part of the stone that doesn't have any glue on it. 1, 2, 3. Yay! I did it. Oh, okay, breathe. Now I'm going to put these two together. The epoxy squeezed out the bottom. I can scrape that off later. Oh, shoot. I didn't get my gold down far enough. That's okay. It's okay. It's all good. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Keep telling yourself that. You know what they say. Fake it till you make it. Okay. There. Now I have all this fan at the top. That's going to get burnished into the crack. Some of it won't make it, but some of it will. So this takes about 5 minutes to set. And no one will ever see the back or the sides. So it probably didn't even matter that I didn't get my glue down far enough, or my gold down far enough. But I wanted to make sure in case it did, the bezel didn't cover up the sides. So I'm going to pause the video and hold this stone for 5 minutes. And then I'll be back. Okay. So I'm back. It's been about 5 minutes. And this is, I'm going to use my old knife for this. The back of this is still a little bit tacky. which is good. It might be a little bit too soon. I don't know. I've never done this before to kind of start scraping this off. But you don't want to wait too long for when it's hard. Otherwise, you'll never get it off. I just want to get most of it off so that it lays flat inside my bezel setting when I'm done. So there's a big glob here. And the other reason that I had you set aside some Q-tips and some isopropyl alcohol is because on this stone here, I had glue and epoxy all over the face of it. So the Q-tip and a little bit of rubbing alcohol was able to take that right off. That could be another reason why that gold turned dark. The alcohol might have had something to do with that. So anyway, I'm just working this the best I can to get this clumps of glue off before it's too late without busting my seal of epoxy. And the other reason I didn't want this to ooze out the front is because you can scratch your stone by trying to do this. And the last thing I want to do is scratch my stone because, universe, I've learned enough from this one. I don't need to learn how to be a lapidary to polish stones yet. All right, I think I'm going to get this glob off and call it a day for the back of this piece. There we go. All right, now we've got a beautiful little agate with a tutu. So I think it's safe for me to lay this down flat and start, can you see this? Yeah, and start the, still a little sticky on the back, but I think it'll be okay. Start the burnishing process. So I think what I'm going to do for now is make sure this is free and clear of any kind of glue or epoxy. And just start to push this towards the middle. And pat it down because I want as much of this to get into the crack as possible. And most of it is going to be probably removed. There. I'm going to try to save this, being that it's literally gold. This is actually 23.5 karat gold. I don't know what the difference is between 23.5 and 24, but it's gold. This looks pretty good, but it's a little thinner of a line than I wanted. So maybe I'll try. Ooh, you can burnish that into the crack. And just by rubbing the gold over the crack. You probably can't see it because it's such a fine line. I'm just going to try to do that. Ooh, oh my gosh. It's really coming out pretty good. I think next time I do this, I might have tried to fold 2 sheets of this up. Get it just a little bit thicker. But hey, for my first attempt at this, I think I'm going to be pretty happy with this. I'll flip this around. All right, this seems to be the technique. Just kind of rub it back and forth. Takes it off, yet burnishes it in. Oh, I wish I would have done this on the other side. Maybe I can salvage it. Take a little of this up here. And burnishing basically means rubbing. It might mean something else to a more professional metal worker, but that's what I think of it as. Oh my gosh. You know, for my first time, I am really super happy with this. I cannot complain. Otherwise, it was a lost cause anyway. I'm just going to keep rubbing that and burnishing the gold into the crack. I'm going back and forth. Make sure you do this with something plastic. Because like I said, you'll scratch your stone. Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm so pleased with this. A little bit more. Even though this is the side of the bezel, I still want to do the best I can with what I know. Oh my gosh. I still have to clean this up a little bit and get some of this off of here. Oh, can you see? And there is my Kintsugi. Kintsugi. I don't know if actually it's Kintsugi or Kintsugi, but either way, I did it. Now I know it can be done on a stone. See how close I can get, and can I focus in on that? Can be done on a stone. And now I know how to do it. Yay! I'm going to burnish this up a little bit more, put it back in its setting, and then I'll show you the final process. Snip a little bit more right here. I think I did it. And that is the Western version of the art of Kintsugi. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button at the bottom, and give me a like. Tell me what you think. Also, I'm new to this, so if anybody has any suggestions, comments, please be kind. Please leave your comments at the bottom. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I forgot. The other thing that I wanted to tell you is that I was able to use that whole sheet of gold leaf. The rest that was left over on that tutu thingy, I was able to burnish that into the crack and make it look just a little bit more finished. Thanks.